The Lincoln Project, known for its sharp political ads, has just launched one of its strongest attacks on Donald Trump, provoking a significant reaction from him. The campaign group is made up of moderate conservatives attacking Trump from winning the mandate, and their latest series of disparaging ads has triggered a backlash from the president. One of the fake ads featured the voice of Trump's father, Fred Trump, criticizing him in a harsh way. The ad contains blunt criticism, accusing Trump of being unworthy and a failure. It deals with personal attacks, including the reasons women left him, his financial status, and even hints about his family relationships and corresponding legal troubles. His hybrid. Fred Trump is described as extremely disappointed with his son, calling him boring, poor, and criticizing his appearance and actions. The ad also insults Trump by implying that his children don't like him, especially Ivanka, and calling him pro-smart. The Lincoln Project's ad also references Fred Trump's past, heart-rending his arrest at a KKK rally, and compares father and son, arguing that both have a basic sense of comfort. This incendiary depiction seeks to lower Trump's image by using his father's scorn. This collection of promotional videos is a delight for Trump opponents, promising humor and a strong take on the former president. The Lincoln Project highlighted one particular ad, suggesting that it was especially devastating and indicating that Trump would be significantly affected by it. The story ends by mocking Trump's public statements and behavior, combining them with absurd and exaggerated comments. It depicts Trump as an analytical realist and one who ends up questioning the meaning of his positions while presenting a superficial love for family and country. The Lincoln Project's strategy here is to deeply embarrass Trump by attacking his personal indignities and his relationship with his father, trying to erode his support base by turning him into a worthy character. Gui I kien fan hoi bang jiu, kien ben kachban dich ja tuk hien ja lu. I love things. I work all different days. I don't discriminate. Tijuana, we will start negotiation now. No way. I said way. Don't do that. Why would we do this? Are we stupid? Why would we do this? I don't want to ever say this, you know, bing, bing. I don't know. Who the hell wants to do business in France? This guy with no IQ, Emmanuel. Real patriots. You look at a can. I know how long it's been there. But that was peanuts. Are you having a good time considering the subject matter is so terrible? I say to myself, you're a freaking genius. Another day waking up to the Trump nightmare. It's hard to describe how ridiculous and awful he is. He acts like one of the Three Stooges. We definitely don't need a stooge in the White House. I have one rule. Never trust a guy who hates dogs and doesn't pay his bills. Every time he talks, nothing makes sense. What happened to you, man? Every time you speak, it's all nonsense. Only someone who doesn't care about the country would vote for him. Yeah. And you've seen this and you turn on the sink and it's very little. I do want to remind everybody, this is the guy that worked with the former Klansmen. I will be Donald Trump's most loyal advocate to make sure his nominees go to the Supreme Court, full of his struggles and ramblings and rantings and mumbling and bumbling and stumbling. You decide. Take a look. They deliberately surrendered our border to vicious coyotes and drug smugglers. I mean, these drugs smugglers. The smuggler. A smuggler. I find it awkward. I find it embarrassing. He's really in the early stages of some kind of senile dementia. I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges or the oranges of the investigation, the beginnings. It's more than awkward and embarrassing. It's actually dangerous. Having someone with his mental state to me is terrifying. She speaks in rhyme. In rhyme? Well, the way she talks, the bus will go here and then the bus will go there because that's what buses do. It's weird. He can't finish a sentence. An anomalous, really anomalous. The man doesn't know where he's going. He doesn't know where the exit is. He's not sure how to get through a speech. Mr. President, you need to sign. Old, outdated, retire, elderly, aging, senile, dementia, slow, confused, idiot, ignorant, sleepy, gaff, bumbling, bad, terrible, disappointing, joke, profanity. Being corrupt is bad. Being corrupt and senile is even worse. It's funny how Trump always accuses President Biden of having his own flaws. Trump is the one who's old, corrupt, and senile. Everyone gets old, but being crazy, narcissistic, and evil is a choice. He's an embarrassment to our country and should never represent us. Even though Biden looks old, his mind is sharp and thoughtful. He finishes his sentences and knows exactly what he's talking about. He thinks things through and makes decisions based on experience, not personal gain, or a dictator's influence. If you dislike Trump and want to help spread the message, subscribe and like this video so YouTube shows it to more people. Let's protect democracy together, one vote at a time. Hey, Donald, we noticed something. More and more people are saying it. You're weak. You seem unsteady. You need help getting around. And wow, really an anonymous country. Are you sure you don't have dementia? It runs in the family. Have you had a real doctor check you out? You keep confusing things. And we did with Obama. We won an election. Getting the facts wrong. We just left pleasure. People laugh about it. About you, even your own people behind your back. You're winning the primary, but losing your power, your strength, your manhood. Face it, Donald. You're just projecting when you call Joe Biden old. He's stronger than you, fitter than you, smarter than you, a better man and a better president. Anyone can see it. And when you lay there at night alone, you know we're right. You're falling apart, Donald. Breaking down right in front of our... With every step he takes, Donald Trump is losing power, not just in popularity, but also in himself. The Lincoln Project has done a great job exposing Trump's lies. Joe Biden has always been his weak spot. I prefer a president who isn't a sociopathic liar. Joe Biden looks and acts younger, is smart, has common sense, and genuinely cares about people. He has some of the best advisors around him. How could you not vote for him? Trump losing a $5 million lawsuit for defamation and then going on TV to defame the same person the next day is either senile or extremely stupid. There's no other explanation. Obama. Shifting production to Thailand. 10,000 known or suspected gang members. Tanzania, the diversity lottery, the Semites. Americans are shocked by how Trump represented our country. He's not my president. Never was. And never will be. He's the biggest disgrace this country has ever seen. With his huge ego, he's been a criminal his whole life. Everyone is laughing at him, but he doesn't care and keeps making a fool of himself in court. Trump's voice, actions, and gestures are like a mix between a mobster, a whining 5-year-old, and a cartoon character. Has this ever happened to you? You're sitting in court again under pressure and stress, and then a warm feeling comes over you, uncomfortably warm. Uh-oh, it's pressure all right down there. That's when you need Trump diapers. Trump diapers? The elite adult's incontinence product for owning libs on the go, while you go. Trump diapers contain a comforting, patent-pending fiber that's the ultimate in pulling fluids from your delicate orange skin. I always look orange. With Trump diapers, you can sit all day in luxurious comfort, whether you're busy ending democracy or just rage posting on social media without consequence. Trump diapers let you spread Russian propaganda all day in dry comfort. You'll never need to poop in the Capitol again. Trump diapers for when you're losing your shit in more ways than one. It makes sense that Trump has no problem insulting everyone, so he insults himself too. With this product, he can fart in the courtroom without worry. But it won't hide the smell, Donald. And you know it. I feel a bit bad mocking someone until I remember all the times Trump has mocked others. It's karma. You are facing 4 indictments. Biden indictments, excuse me, Biden political indictments. And the election was rigged. There's no question about that. There's so much proof on it. The strategic reserves, which I had a lot to do with filling up for the first time ever, they took these strategic reserves. Jamie Comer, Jim Jordan, who are fantastic people and very legitimate people. Things are not going right now very well for the consumer. Bacon is up 5 times. Food is up horribly. Nancy Pelosi was in charge of security. She turned down $85 billion worth of equipment to the something's going on. And it's not good for Ukraine because the news is no longer reporting about the war. The Democrats that say after 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, and even after birth, you're allowed to terminate the baby. You say Trump was right about everything. Trump can't tell the truth. He's a pathological liar. When he's faced with facts and his lies are exposed, he loses control. Imagine someone like that being president. He lies all the time, yet his supporters still admire him. There's clearly something very wrong with these people. Trump talks nonsense like a loose cannon, which is embarrassing and a problem for his lawyers. One of his lawyers even said he won't vote for him in 2024, calling him a malignant narcissist. No one who constantly lies should ever have a position of responsibility or authority in government. Hiring Trump was a huge mistake, and the cost of this stupidity is increasing. Music. Claiming the former president smells bad. The tone has a distinct smell. It's like body odor with kind of like a scented makeup product. Coughing. Donald, is that you? One day Donald Trump will be gone, but his impact on the Republican Party will remain. The damage he has done will never go away. He is all about corruption, rotten on the inside and out. It drives me crazy how MAGA supporters act like Trump is normal. Acting like a fool and talking nonstop nonsense is not normal. After we all saw how badly he reacted to comments about his hand size, this might be the disaster we've all been waiting for. Comedy gold and hats off to the Lincoln Project Trump. Trump just isn't the same. You're noticing it now, aren't you? You can see it. He's old, sleepy, confused, weak. His jaw kept falling on his chest and his mouth kept going slack. He's not the same man. His energy is gone. No one can deny it. And Putin, you know, has so little respect for Obama that he's starting to throw around. You heard that. You're learning he cares about himself, not us. Sioux Falls. Thank you very much, Sioux Falls. We've all had parents who we love, but who changed over the years, needed help, needed understanding, needed care, including Obama. I'll tell you what, you take a look at Obama and take. With Trump, it's happening so fast. We can all see it. Now you do too. Since losing the 2020 election, Trump has changed. He's used to getting his way, but now he's facing rejection. His ego took a big hit, and he's desperate to keep his power. Now he looks older, tired and confused, not as sharp as before. Despite this, he's still corrupt and causing trouble. Watching his behavior is sickening and his annoying actions never stop. It's time for the judicial system to stand up, be brave, and take action. We have a man who is totally corrupt, and the worst president in the history of our country who is cognitively impaired. We are an institute and a powerful death penalty, trying to debank you. We came up with a new word for a new couple of words for corn. Your climb, they call it climate. Ding, 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 ding. He's been showing more and more confusion in his stump speeches. Thank windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. Elise Stepanek, you're a foreign dignity and you're coming into the United States. We would be in World War II. Missile launch. You're seeing Donald Trump increasingly get confused on the campaign trail. We won world wars out of forts. Nikki Haley is in charge of security. We offered her 10,000 people soldiers. He thought Nikki Haley was Nancy Pelosi. That clip is brutal. Nikki Haley, Nikki Haley, Nikki Haley. Donald Trump is truly confused about who Nikki Haley is. Bomb. Okay. Totally incoherent. They wanted to bank you, and we're going to debank. Viktor Orban. Did anyone ever hear of him? He's the leader of Turkey. Hezbollah and Homer. Sioux Falls. Oh, it's holy. Sioux City with Obama. We won an election that everyone said couldn't be won. Obama dropped missiles, and they ended up hitting a kindergarten. If that's the case, he's going to end up being indicted when he leaves office. Leading by a lot, including Obama. I'll tell you what, if he's making the same kind of slips and mistakes that he is mocking Biden for, it undermines his argument and really what is a Central Republican meeting heading up to 24. I'll let you know when I go bad. I really think when Trump talks about the worst president, he's really talking about himself. Everything negative he says applies to him. He's all over the place when he speaks, and no sensible person would want him in charge. It's clear he only cares about himself. It's hard to believe he was ever president, and it's even scarier to think it could happen again. Trump's advisors must know he's not fit to speak to crowds much longer. All he seems to care about is resting and causing trouble. In 2016, you said that. I'm going to surround myself with only the best and most serious people. I have the best people. I have the best people. Music. Your Vice President, Mike Pence, is running against you. Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley. She's running against you. Your former Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, said he's not supporting you. You mentioned National Security Advisor John Bolton. He's not supporting you either. You mentioned Attorney General Bill Barr says you shouldn't be president again. He calls you the consummate narcissist and troubled man. You recently called Barr a gutless pig. Your second defense secretary is not supporting you. He called you irresponsible. He called your White House Chief of Staff, John Kelly, weak and ineffective and born with a very small brain. He called your acting White House Chief of Staff, Mick Mulvaney, a born loser. You called your first Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, dumb as a rock, and your first Defense Secretary, James Mattis, the world's most overrated general. You called your White House Press Secretary, Kayla Kennedy, milquetoast. And multiple times you've referred to your Transportation Secretary, Elaine Chao, as Mitch McConnell's China-loving wife. So why did you hire all of them in the first place? Because I hired 10 to 1 that were fantastic. I remember how he praised every one of those people when he hired them. He doesn't have any real American friends, just people he uses. He's a traitor. Lock him up. The common link between all these failures is Donald J. Trump. Trump is the result of no one calling out his nonsense for over 70 years. His insults don't work anymore. He always blames someone else and can't admit his own mistakes. This is happening because he's gotten away with so much without facing consequences. Why would anyone with even a bit of self-respect ever work for Trump? Some senior living facilities claim to have world-class service, but there's only one elder care facility that knows how to make you feel right at home. At Mar-a-Lago Assisted Living, we will literally hold your hand every step of the way. Enjoy our complimentary storage space for all your heirlooms, private offices to take meetings and calls, beautiful interior decor, expert hygiene specialists to take care of any weird body smells, and our house-made meals are so exquisite, they'll take your mind off everything else. I was sitting at the table. We had finished dinner. We're now having dessert, and we had the most beautiful piece of chocolate cake that you've ever seen. Mar-a-Lago Assisted Living. We do the work, so you don't have to. And let's face it, you don't want to. We all wonder where Trump might end up as he gets older, possibly in a secure place with guards and other prisoners. This would show that in such a setting, he's just like everyone else. Some might even picture him feeling uncomfortable there. Interestingly, Mar-a-Lago has many amenities like typical retirement homes, such as shared dining, entertainment areas, and fitness centers. By January 2025, Trump will be older than Biden was when he became president, so age alone shouldn't determine his suitability for the role. Nothing worked, Donald. Nothing. You tried everything to delay the trial. You failed. Now Melania gets to be humiliated again. She hates you. Being reminded that you fucked a porn star. Stormy said you sucked in bed, and then you paid to keep it secret. Embarrassing. Lied about it over and over. The truth came out. Now Judge Marchand has you on a leash. That's a good boy. Gagged. Do what you're told. He's had enough of your threats and your lies. Just like your wife. Alvin Bragg has your number. And the case is strong. More humiliation. You won't testify. You'd screw it up. You're going to lose. I'm a convict. And you're going to pay. If you had any money, the only president in history to face a criminal trial. Fred would be ashamed. Maybe you're not being persecuted. You did this to yourself. Maybe it's because you're a criminal. Guilty. The cloud of suspicion around Donald Trump never goes away, making many people wonder why. After the hush money trial ends, Trump might end up in jail, giving him plenty of time to think about his actions. It's ironic how someone who calls himself a genius and billionaire is now seen as a traitor. He brought this on himself. It's sad to see a life full of crime and the damage he's done to America. Hopefully those who've been misled by Trump will feel some relief when justice is served. Donald Trump over the weekend once again thinking he's running against Barack Obama. Putin, you know, has so little respect for Obama. Believing by a lot, including Obama. Obama. Discouraged by Obama. What would you advise President Obama? For our great veterans, we passed VA accountability and VA choice. I have no greater privilege than the chance to help make sure that our country keeps the promises that we've made to everybody who signs up to serve. With that, I am going to sign this bill. Obama wants to, he doesn't want to talk about it. So you mean President Biden? At a rally, Trump asked a volunteer to show the intelligence of his supporters. When asked simple math questions like, what's 6 times 5 and what's 9 times 9? The volunteer gave wrong answers. Despite this, the crowd wanted more tries. Finally, when asked what's 2 plus 2 and getting it right, the crowd cheered loudly. The joke goes, how many MAGA supporters does it take to change a light bulb? None. Because Trump will claim he changed it and they'll cheer in the dark. It will be the most important election ever. Worth watching. They are doing good work and history will recognize their efforts against corrupt leaders. Every vote counts, so make sure to vote against this dishonest leader. His downfall will bring relief. Let's not forget the chaos of his previous term, with shortages and loss of life due to incompetence. We had no toilet paper, were trapped at home, and thousands of people were dying each month from his poor handling of the situation while he suggested drinking bleach. An issue facing our nation isn't how old we are, it's how old are our ideas. Hate, anger, revenge, retribution are the oldest of ideas. But you can't lead America with ancient ideas. You need a vision for the future and what can and should be done. I see a future where defending democracy, we don't diminish it. I see a future where we restore the right to choose and protect our freedoms, not take them away. I see a future where the middle class finally has a fair shot. I see a future where we save the planet from the climate crisis and our country from gun violence. I see a future for all Americans because I believe in you, the American people. When America gets knocked down, we get back up. We keep going. There is nothing beyond our capacity when we act together. Franklin D. Roosevelt had health problems, but he was the leader our country needed at that time. Similarly, despite his age and the pressures he faces, Biden is the leader we need now. We don't need someone like Trump. Biden has spent his life serving others, no matter their political views. Let's elect someone who can handle the job, not just a smooth talker with no substance. Most successful criminal defense lawyers never grant television interviews, never. Ultimately, what President Trump said is, let's go with option D. Let's just halt. Let's just pause the voting and allow the state legislatures to take one last look and make a determination as to whether or not the elections were handled fairly. That is a Trump criminal defense lawyer quoting Donald Trump committing a crime. And then at the end, he asked Mr. Pence to pause the voting for 10 days, allow the state legislatures to weigh in, and then they could make a determination to audit or re-audit or recertify. What I hear when you play that clip of John Laurel saying, you know, Donald Trump just said, let's go with option D. It's Donald Trump said, let's go with criminal option D. A defense lawyer who makes a statement on behalf of their client, that is an admission. I don't know why John Laurel chooses to talk, but he should probably stop. Trump and his lawyers remind me of that Ron White joke. I had the right to remain silent, but lacked the ability. After losing 60 court cases, they want to delay the election certification for another 10 days. What's their plan? They might as well start getting Trump's attorney ready for an orange jumpsuit. If they say they need more time for discovery, they should spend less time on TV and focus on preparing for court. I don't like the term woke, because I hear woke, 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 military, woke, financial scams, woke fascism, woke laugh, woke politicians, woke gender ideology, woke generals, woke tyranny, woke multinational corporations, woke at the top levels, a woke takeover of the entire federal government. They want to go woke, woke, and weaponized government. The woke left, they want to go woke. Do you think that General Patton was woke? We will end woke. Everything woke. Everything woke. Everything woke. You know, it's like just a term that half the people can't even define it. They don't know what it is. A mega supporter hurries into work out of breath from running up the stairs. When asked why he's late, he jokes, I didn't set an alarm because I didn't want to wake up. It's a sarcastic way of saying that being informed about what's happening in America is seen as a threat. But, in truth, the more we know, the safer we are. Let's spread the word about the constant lies from this politician, the most grossly incompetent man in government, the worst president ever of any country. The whole world is laughing at him. He's a fool. A gentleman named Donald J. Trump. Have you heard of him executing the baby after birth? Execute the baby. Execute the baby after birth. Turn up here screaming like a lunatic. You cannot call Chris Christie a fat pig. You cannot do that. He's a fat pig because you're not allowed to use the fat word. You know, you can use almost any word, but you can't use the fat word. If you call somebody fat, it's career-ending. You know who he is? Fat Alvin. We're all fat. Everything they touch turns to what? You shouldn't use that kind of language. Hot dogs. Let's talk about hot dogs. I just had one, actually. I just had the best hot dog. So I said, Frank, I'm sorry. Now, Pavarotti was a good friend. First Lady, how great a speech was that? Who else is drawing like that? Nobody could draw crowds like that. How great was I? She said, you were okay. Oh, Donald, I love you so much. You're doing such a great job. That's nice. He's a nice-looking, oh, that's me. Tell him you can't do that stuff. Don't do it. Shut up. Silence of the Lamb. Has anyone ever seen The Silence of the Lamb? The late, great Hannibal Lecter is a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. When they start leaving, it's time for me to hang it up, right? But I just had I don't understand how people can invest all their energy and hopes into a man who has spent his whole life cheating everyone around him. Trump making fun of someone's weight or appearance is just ridiculous. Calling Biden the worst president ever is just Trump projecting his own flaws. What a clown. I'm 74 years old. I've lived in a constitutional democracy all my life. I want to remain that way, and I want my grandchildren to grow up in one, not a dictatorship. And I'm curious, over the last 2 elections, have you voted Trump in the past? Was it something where you voted for him, you trusted him, and you were disappointed? Yes, I voted for him in 2016. I am a registered Republican, and I regretted that vote almost immediately, especially on his trip to Europe, where he insulted our allies and praised Putin. And then in 2020, was that enough for you to change your vote to Joe Biden? Yes, absolutely. Why did you feel the need to cross party lines? Because I want the world to be a safe place. I believe in a strong NATO. My father fought in World War II to defeat fascism, and I wanted to remain defeated. This woman represents true patriotism. She is a hero who upholds the values our forefathers fought for and stands against fascism. Unlike the loud MAGA supporters who shout slogans, she quietly works for the good of our country, especially for future generations. Her actions show integrity, and we should all strive to be patriotic in this way. Together we make America stronger every day. Is Trump the worst president ever? Yes or no?